que es agregado al equipo contrario.
This is Pok to Pok, a game played by a civilization supposedly long gone. But here it is, alive and well, played on the streets of Mérida, Mexico. But this isn't a story about Pok to Pok. This is a story of the language that has helped to keep it alive. From 250 BC to 900 AD, the Mayan civilization was the most dominant presence across what we now know as Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador and Honduras. In that time, the Mayans built huge stone cities, developed their languages and writing systems, and even their own method of representing and using mathematics. However, following a series of tragic events, both natural and man-made, the Mayan civilization crumbled and vanished, leaving their cities and languages to vanish into obscurity. Or did they?
Today, 1 in 3 people speak a Mayan language here in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, which may come as a surprise. I mean, when we think of Maya, we think of pyramids, calendars, and an ancient civilization long gone. But Maya's not gone.
To find out more about modern Maya, I spoke to Carlos, a language tutor, and although not a Mayan speaker or of Mayan descent, a Mexican living in the Yucatan. However, to get an understanding of the Mayan culture, he suggested we visit some cenotes first. Of course, we said yes.
My name is Carlos, so I live here in the Yucatan area. Especially in parts of Central America, they believe that the Mayan is a dead language, but it's alive and fully well. That's a short story. The long story is that it really depends on the region. There are regions that do have like a full Mayan lexical vocabulary. There are other parts that do have embraced the Spanish language in other areas, but it's still used as a primary language, that it is completely unintelligible, right? Like for Spanish speakers cannot understand the words here.
When we talk about the Mayan language, it's easy to think there's just one, especially considering the use of the phrase La Lengua Maya so prominently here in Mérida. However, Mayan is in fact a whole language tree in itself, including a huge number of different Mayan languages.
With the Mayans today, we are mostly descendants of mixed race and the influence of the Spanish and the local original Mayan language, that it's very different than the ancient Mayan 1,000 years ago. So I think the words that we use today really reflects the confluence of both languages. There are families that are definitely still very rooted in their culture, and they want to make sure that it's still spoken, especially because of grandparents or the extended family. If they communicate mostly in Mayan, they want to make sure that, of course, their descendants know the language. Some issues that have come up in modern days is that if the more people want to simply watch TV or want to or use social media or move to the city, medicine, so they start thinking that it is better to simply use the dominant language or forget that it's important.
What Carlos said about younger Mayan speakers abandoning their family language in favour of the more prominently spoken Spanish really interested me. As, after all, walking around Mérida, a city home to thousands of Mayan speakers, you can quickly see how the ancient Mayan culture is celebrated through tourism, where Yucatec Maya is proudly shown alongside English and Spanish on information signs, and every drink, hat and gift is promoted as Mayan. Even visiting the newly built El Gran Museo del Mundo Maya, or Museum of the Mayan World, there is a huge amount of pride on display of the ancient Maya and all they achieved, both culturally and linguistically. But what about modern Yucatec Maya? I spoke to Myrna, a Yucatec Maya teacher and volunteer at Radio Yuyam in Mérida, about modern Mayan speakers in the Yucatan and what Radio Yuyam was doing.
Well, so there are some misconceptions related to when tourists or people come to Yucatan. They think that Mayan is a language. It's not really a language. They think that there is a dialect spoken by a really small group of people, that Maya doesn't have, like the level to be spoken, but that's not true. Sometimes even the speakers of Maya speakers think that it is not really valuable to speak it more in the family or out of the house. You know, like people who speak Maya in their homes, with the family and everything, when they go outside, going like to the supermarket or someplace, they don't speak that because they think that it's not really a language.
Even among themselves, like if a family went to the supermarket,
I
they
have
would
seen
switch to
that.
Spanish.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
they switch to Spanish, or maybe you know, like taking kids to the school. They say, okay, now we're going to speak Spanish. Or they switch to Spanish because they think that it's like they are kind of ashamed to speak Maya. Why that's happening? Because kids don't see language on the media, for example. So they say, okay, my language is not really valuable because I don't see it on the Facebook, or I don't listen it on TV, or I don't hear songs in that language. So it's not really important.
Seeing how Yucatec Maya wasn't being represented in the media, Myrna and a number of other Mayan speakers established UYUM, an internet radio station broadcast entirely in Yucatec Maya.
We have found that many people is interested. Like some even co-workers, sometimes they say, for example, do you speak Maya? No, I don't. But as soon as we started with UYUM, they said, no, I can understand.
So it fills that gap. It gives that cultural connection, that modern connection that then creates the pride and a want to be associated with it, right?
Yeah, that's right. So you feel like a part of the culture, you feel part of a town that is still alive.
Yeah.
Because that's another misconception, that people think that Mayan culture it's over. You know, like you can see only that in the museums or in the expositions or something, but I think that's not totally true.
It's easy to think, from an outsider's point of view, that the Mayan language no longer exists. After all, much of the celebrated Mayan culture we see is usually proudly shown behind a glass cabinet or in a history book. But I wanted to find something else modern and current. After a quick web search, I found Pat Boy. I was able to speak to Pat Boy, who had just returned from San Francisco to promote his music, and in line in a hunt for modern day Maya, we met at a mall.
¿Qué tal? Chabelesh, Cabae. Me llamo Jesús Cristóbal Pat Chablé, conocido como Pat Boy, soy originario de José María Pino Suárez, municipio de Felipe Carrillo Puerto, Quintana Roo, México. Pat Boy. ¿Cuál fue mi decisión? Yo cuando comencé como un hobby en la música, que es el rap, con mi hermano y otros chavos que cantaban, que es de mi comunidad, y de allí del hobby, así de todo como un pasatiempo, pues poco a poco fue como que tomándose más importancia a trabajar en como que ya más como un trabajo, ¿no? Porque yo salí de la secundaria a los 16 años y comencé a trabajar y me gustó trabajar. Después de ahí la empresa se cerró y me sacaron porque yo no podía trabajar en otra empresa porque yo no tengo los 18 años que requiere en cualquier empleo, ¿no? Entonces pues yo no tenía nada que hacer y dije, pues voy a seguir rapeando, ¿no? Y entonces se nace la idea de hacer un rap pero en maya, pero ya había escuchado a otro cantante que hacía reggae en maya, que es Santo Santiago. En el 2001, 2002 fueron los músicos que estuvieron sonando en las radios, en el periódico. Ya había escuchado eso, ¿no? Pero en rap ya no había, ¿no? Y en ese momento entonces, en el 2009, creo la canción Vidas Mayas, que se llama Pushtal Mayao, donde escribo la primera canción, donde redacto la vida de un campesino que va a trabajar en la milpa, que regresa y todo, ¿no? Entonces el motivo pues fue, fui conociendo más de mi cultura, que es ser maya, ¿no? Porque antes no tenía tanta importancia de eso, ¿no? Pero por el medio del rap maya pues he estado conociendo más cosas, como las tradiciones y cosas que me cuentan de mi pueblo. ¿Cuál es la importancia de la música? Pues es una arma que podemos tener como jóvenes y gente que le gusta esto de arte, de poder transmitir nuestra música o nuestra tradición y culturas a más gente, porque la música lo pueden tocar en las radios, en las teles, en videoclips, pues es algo que pues representa mucho, ¿no?
Sí.
la música, hasta ellos tienen su música de nuestros antepasados, ¿no?
Speaking with Pat Boy, it was fantastic to see how a present-day Mayan speaker was so in tune with engaging a young audience with music and video. Engaging young Mayan speakers in a format they know and love. But what about outside the media, outside of music and radio? Was there any support in the home or in school? I met with Vicente, a local head teacher and advocate of Yucatec Maya.
Mi nombre es Vicente Canchemo, originario de Jalachó. Hablo la lengua maya como lengua materna y el español. Bueno, pues me gustaría que la gente supiera que la lengua maya es una lengua maya viva, que es hablada por más de 500,000 maya hablantes distribuidos en la península de Yucatán, Campeche y Quintana Roo. Pero también desgraciadamente en los últimos 5 años ha bajado el número de maya hablantes. Había aproximadamente unos 800,000 maya hablantes y ahorita pues solamente hay aproximadamente 500,000 maya hablantes. Y que necesitamos también de muchos programas institucionales, de organizaciones no gubernamentales que puedan fortalecer la lengua maya y que la puedan enseñar a las nuevas generaciones, porque las generaciones de 5 años, menores de 5 años no están aprendiendo la lengua maya. Entonces, si queremos que nuestra lengua siga viva, necesitamos transmitir nuestro idioma a las nuevas generaciones.
Vale, entonces los niños pequeños no los tienen en escuela o colegio.
No lo tienen en las escuelas. La lengua maya, pues consideramos lengua materna cuando se aprende desde el seno familiar. Hay un programa que se llama Conexcanic Maya, que es un programa del gobierno que enseña la lengua maya en escuelas primarias a partir de tercer grado, tercero, cuarto, quinto y sexto grado. Sin embargo, en los últimos 2 años se ha ido cerrando ese programa. De 90 escuelas que existían aproximadamente donde se enseñaba la lengua maya, actualmente quedan como unas 70 escuelas solamente. Si consideramos que el programa funciona en escuelas donde hay aproximadamente 150 niños que recibían esta atención, multiplicamos los 150 por las 20 escuelas que ya desaparecieron, entonces hay 3,000 niños que dejaron de aprender la lengua maya.
I asked Vicente what methods he used to try and inspire and engage Mayan-speaking children.
Los juegos, ¿no? Electrónicos, y digo, ¿qué puedo hacer para que los niños también jugando puedan estar aprendiendo la lengua maya? Entonces, en el año de 2004, empiezo a hacer mis primeros experimentos con un programa que se llama Flash.
Vicente has already done a huge amount of work in promoting and preserving the language, including digitizing stories, creating online games, audio courses, DVDs, and even translating Wikipedia articles into Yucatec Maya.
Pero la intención es utilizar cualquier tipo de soporte para promover la lengua maya. Esa es mi idea.
It's hard not to be inspired by Vicente as he strives to keep Yucatec Maya alive and relevant for the next generation. From interactive games to radio stations and rap videos, the hard work of the Mayan speakers we spoke with, and more, to keep Yucatec Maya relevant for the next generation is truly fantastic and inspiring. Which brings us back to Pok to Pok. An ancient Mayan game that predates health and safety should have no place in the modern world. But here it is, played on the streets of Mexico with hundreds of spectators watching in awe, kept alive by the commitment of Yucatec Mayan speakers eager to prove us wrong. Maya didn't die. Mayans are still alive today, and so are their languages.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out the sister podcasts to this episode. Just search language stories on your favourite podcast directory. And of course, if you have a language story or you know someone who does that you'd love to share, then get in touch. Details are in the description below this video. As always, remember to subscribe for regular language learning videos, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.
First things first, let me start by saying it's okay. It's not your fault. I thought the same as you until I came here and spoke to speakers of Yucatec Maya. I thought that the Maya built some temples, lived in southern Mexico and parts of Central America, and that was about all my British school history lessons taught me about this distant civilization until 2012, when the Maya are hitting front pages for predicting the end of the world. To be honest though, Gangnam Style, that guy jumping out of the Red Bull plane from space, the London Olympics, we would have gone out on a high.